Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Indie Zone. My name is Kathy. There has been an important, I believe, development in the Idaho versus Kohberger case that appears on the case summary page, a notation dated the 31st of January 2025. Now, first, what is the case summary page? This is what is now a 69-page document. It is maintained by the clerk of court. The purpose is for the court to note key events in the case, such as hearings, such as minutes from hearings, such as the briefings, motion, response, reply, such as stipulations, which there have been many. Those are filings that are not produced by one or the other side, but it's the parties together that stipulate, that agree to something. And a lot of the agreements that have been submitted since the beginning of this case, over 2 years ago, following Mr. Kohberger's arrest for the atrocious and heinous crimes at 1122 King Road in Moscow, Idaho, that occurred back in 2022. Many things have been stipulated to, including a stipulation at the beginning of the case, January 3rd, 2023, that led to the issuance of the gag, aka non-dissemination order, that same day, that's been in effect one way or the other. Many other stipulations have dealt with filing, discovery, and other documents under seal. There was a stipulation for a sealed protective order and a sealed protective order itself that was filed a little while ago in this case. This order that we see on the case summary page that sometimes shows us filings before they hit the docket is an order that has now unsealed the stipulated motion for a sealed protective order and the sealed protective order itself. Again, it appears on the case summary page, 68 of 69. It's toward the bottom. It has a PDF icon next to it. So this tells us that this is a public document that will appear on the docket at some point. Unfortunately, I have checked the public docket to see if this order has appeared so that you can review it for yourself and that I could review it and provide you with some thoughts on what it is, what it means, who it was for, what it was for. It has not yet appeared. Sometimes it'll take a few days for it to appear. Hopefully it will be next week. The way that you can tell documents are sealed is if you see the little lock and key device just under this order unsealing stipulated motion for sealed protective order and sealed protective order itself. It is the notation that a February 6th, 2025 hearing on a motion to suppress that had been scheduled by Judge John Judge while the matter was still in Latah County prior to change of venue in September was canceled. Next to it, you see a little lock and key, meaning that that hearing was going to be sealed from the public. Judge John Judge issued a pretrial and trial order that set all of these matters. So you're going to see several matters that dealt with Judge John Judge pretrial and trial order for Latah County being canceled and vacated. It was vacated by Judge Stephen Hippler's October 9th, 2024, pre-trial and trial orders. So again, when you see these little lock and key symbols next to an event, whether it's a hearing, whether it's a filing, whether it's an order, that tells you that these items are sealed from the public. And I do encourage you to, when you have an opportunity, look at, and I mean really look at this case summary page. Going back to the affidavit of probable cause, it's the first item that appeared on the docket back on December 29th, 2022. It was signed by Detective Brett Payne that led directly to Mr. Kohberger's arrest following the issuance of a criminal complaint signed by Mr. Thompson citing the 5 felonies, first-degree felonies, that he was later indicted on, Mr. Kohberger. And look at the large number of things that are sealed from the public. The hearing on the 23rd at 9 o'clock was sealed to the public when certain individuals, and we don't know how many or who, gave testimony, some via Zoom. They were out of state. They were permitted to testify via Zoom, others live. So now we start to see what I hope will be a continuation of Judge Stephen Hippler's unsealing of these many, many sealed documents. We got word just a few days ago that Judge Hippler had ordered the transcript from that very hearing, the motion to suppress hearing at 9 a.m. on the 23rd, would be released to the public after both sides were given 14 days once the transcript was transcribed verbatim, word for word, that means, by the assigned court reporter, memorializing it down on paper, i.e. the transcript. Both sides were given 14 days to get to Judge Hippler whatever parts of the transcripts from, including witness testimony that morning, they requested be sealed from the public, but the caveat being Judge Hippler was requiring a reason why anything that the state or the defense was seeking to have suppressed, kept off, redacted from the transcript, why it would be redacted from the transcript. So just speculating here, perhaps the parties have already obtained copies of the transcript and they've gotten back their information to Judge Hippler that, hey, whatever this unsealing, the stipulated motion for sealed protective order and sealed protective order, if it had anything to do with the motion to suppress hearing, IGG, in any way, shape, or form, perhaps they've said, Judge, we don't need this to be sealed anymore. Or maybe this is the court just on his own volition deciding that this information should be unsealed. He, of course, has the authority and the power to do that. Once this order hits the docket, it's going to be the stipulated motion where we should see the reasons why both sides felt that this protective order should be sealed, as well as the protective order itself, which should tell us the who, what, where, who's involved. Is this records? Is it for a person? Should then be available for the public to review. Once this hits the docket, I will come back, provide you with an update. This will now conclude this episode of the Indie Zone. Your comments, your questions, your feedback, always, always appreciated. And if you like our content here, would really appreciate it if you would subscribe to the channel, because it helps our channel grow. This is Kathy. Thank you for joining us today.